Hello and a warm welcome to Federal Special Program Capital Beat. I'm Neelu Vyas. As 2024 elections draw closer, the journey from here on is a litmus test both for BJP and the opposition. There is a feeling, or rather a wider perception, that because of the rising popularity of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, BJP will certainly win in 2024, but the numbers might not be the same as 2019. As far as the opposition leaders are concerned, the narrative around them looks disjointed, looks incoherent, but there is a perception that the provincial leaders, or rather the regional kshatraps, might give a tough fight to BJP. So what does the road ahead look like? What are the challenges for the BJP as well as the opposition? I'm joined by Seshadri Chari, a very special personality who is an author, journalist, strategic and foreign affairs expert, and also a swayamsevak. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Mr. Chari, my first question to you is, and let me begin with the challenges for BJP. What do you think is the biggest challenge for BJP currently?
No, I don't see any very big challenge as far as the BJP is concerned. And I think 2024, the BJP might actually improve the seats. I don't know about the percentage of votes, because the percentage of votes may come down a little bit. There are different reasons why the percentage of vote may come down because of the state factors. There are some states where the BJP is not the ruling party. So where the BJP is not the ruling party, the local party might get more votes, but not seats. This is what we have seen as far as West Bengal is concerned. This is what we have seen as far as even Tamil Nadu is concerned. And this is what we have seen as far as many states where BJP is not the ruling party, where the state party or the local party, or what we call sometimes we call it regional party, but there is nothing called regional party. It is either state or central party. Right. So these are concerned. Actually, there are only practically there are only two national parties. Remember, BJP and the Congress. The Communist is no longer a national party, although they have a national party status as far as Election Commission is concerned. But in practice, in actual, they are not represented anywhere else except Kerala.
Therefore, so Mr. Chari, you are saying that BJP will increase its numbers as far as the number of seats are concerned. The vote share might come down, but number of seats will go up.
Absolutely. I'm very sure the number of seats will go up.
And why are you so confident that BJP's number of seats will go up? What makes you feel so?
No, I see, it's not just confidence. It's also, if you look at it from the very strategic point of view, and as a political analyst, if you look at it from the political analysis point of view, there are certain things that politics requires. The most important element as far as politics is concerned is a charismatic leader. See, we had a very charismatic leader in 1947. I mean, one may not agree with the ideology or one may not agree with the programs with Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, but all said and done, he was a tall leader as long as 47 to 64 is concerned.
Right.
And there used to be a question, who after Nehru and all that. Anyway, we are not going into that detail. Then the second leader, although Mrs. Indira Gandhi made a number of mistakes,
right,
like the 1975 emergency and so many other things. But in spite of that, she could win elections. The Congress party could win the election in the name of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. That is what is important. Similarly,
and you feel that BJP is going through the same phase where in the name of Narendra Modi, BJP will win come what may.
Exactly. That, I mean, Narendra Modi, for that matter, I can risk saying this also, that he combines the combined charisma of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, these three people. Because if you see, like Mrs. Indira Gandhi, he is able to strategize every opportunity. I mean, you remember Mrs. Indira Gandhi was arrested after emergency, during the Janata government, she was arrested. And that arrest became a point of rebounding for her. She rebounded, came back to politics after that.
Right.
that kind of making use of every opportunity. I mean, we can say about Narendra Modi, you throw a stone at him and he will make use of it and construct a house out of it. That kind of political knack he has, number one. Number two, like Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he is a great orator. Atal Bihari Vajpayee's biggest quality was his oratory. So people used to say that those who came to scoff remain to pray, as the William Wordsworth said. A similar kind of oratory is what Narendra Modi has got. And as of now, I don't see this kind of oratory in any other political party.
But Mr. Chari, we do know that Modi is a very good orator and he has a charismatic personality. Of course, his party has almost become like an election machine. And we do know the way BJP has conducted itself, in the past several years. But given the fact that the kind of narrative which we see around Modi domestically as well as globally, and why I'm saying this narrative is, and I want to specify on it, that minorities being attacked, tribals being attacked, Dalits insecure. There is a narrative around the Muslims as well that, BJP is not very Muslim friendly, no matter how much they may rake up and say that, look, we are for Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Then of late, the Adani issue, the proximity of Adani with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and globally, the way the people are perceiving this whole situation. Rahul Gandhi going around and talking on the international platform saying that, look, our mics are being switched off, media is captured as an institution, judiciary is not functioning. Do all these factors not damage Modi's image within the country as well as globally?
See, you have listed some, maybe more than a dozen points. I'll begin with the last. Rahul Gandhi going about talking about switching off the mics and all that.
Right.
I mean, you can try and create a narrative, but remember one thing. Two things are there.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you. You are saying that this is a manufactured narrative of mics being switched off in Parliament.
When was the mic switched off? And what was the background of it? You mean to say every time an opposition leader stands up to speak, the mic is switched off? I mean, whom are they fooling? See, what I wish people like Rahul Gandhi speak even more. The moment he opens his mouth, BJP is assured of at least one seat. So he speaks for 365 days, BJP will get 365 seats. That is the kind of thing that is happening today. So you cannot create. See, when you want to create a narrative, two things are there. There has to be some reality to the narrative. A. B. There should be some credibility on the part of the person who is creating this narrative. As far as these narratives which you listed are concerned, both these elements are missing. There is no truth as far as all these things which are being said is concerned. A. B. People will ask, what is the credibility of the person who is creating all these things? A serial loser who has lost more than 50 elections out of 55 elections.
So, sir, are you saying that the entire opposition is now manufacturing a narrative where they say that the institutions are captured, media is captured? Media, of course, we are seeing how media is functioning. It's almost captured by the government. Don't you feel that?
I mean, no. The
entire opposition is wrong.
It is easy to say. Again, there are certain anomalies in what you are asking. When you say entire opposition, what is that entire opposition? All the parties that are now against the BJP, if you total all these parties together, it doesn't cross 200 seats in parliament, A. And B, out of these 200 seats, remember, Shiv Sena, which was against BJP, is now gone. Akali Dal is not a ruling party even in Punjab. DMK and ADMK are two parties which have done business with both Congress-led UPA and NDA. Both, they have been part of the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government. So what is this called? What is this opposition? If you say Congress party is the opposition, it is not even the main opposition party, even in parliament.
No, so what does BJP want? BJP doesn't want any opposition now.
No, it's not the question of BJP wanting or not wanting. It is what people want.
No, but the
If
opposition
people
is not
vote for
allowed to.
BJP, if people vote for BJP, how do you blame the BJP for people not voting for the opposition? Do you expect the BJP to campaign for the Congress? Do you expect the BJP to campaign for
No,
DMK in Tamil Nadu?
certainly, no, certainly BJP will not campaign for parties like Congress and DMK, but unleashing enforcement agencies,
No, 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 no.
putting them behind bars, silencing them in whatever manner they can be. So you are saying that all this is a false narrative, which is being
See,
whipped up by.
I don't want to indulge in whataboutism, but when you make these allegations, people who stay in glass houses should not throw stones at others. When the Congress party says that democracy is being stifled, remember when a person like me hears about it, I was in jail during 1975 during emergency.
Right.
So you want me to believe that the Congress party is the paragon of virtue as far as democracy is concerned? So there has to be some credibility. And if there is a corruption issue, if there is some corruption issue, if there is a CBI case against somebody, it's that let the court take its own course. Let the law take its own course. Yes, I do agree on one thing, that when you file a case against somebody, say CBI, ED, income tax, or whatever the case may be, you can set a time limit. It should be a time frame should be there so that the person concerned, if he is proved wrong, let him go to jail. And if he is absolved, if he is not wrong, if the CBI or ED or income tax or whatever it is not able to prove that he is a culprit, he is not wrong, then the court will let him off and he can come back to politics.
Mr. Chari, the whole point is that if the opposition leaders join BJP, it seems that they are washed in a washing machine. Nobody will question them. But if you're not on the side of BJP, you will be hounded by the enforcement agencies. You will be sent to the prison. And we've seen all these examples. Look at Lalu. Of course, the fodder scam was there and the way the raids are happening. Everybody's questioning the timing of these enforcement agencies, the way they are working. You're right that there should be a time limit. But the way enforcement agencies function, everybody's questioning the timing. That why is this happening?
Why timing?
And the same rule doesn't apply on Adani. There is money laundering, but ED doesn't question Adani.
No, there are cases against Adani also, and there were the same kind of accusations were made against so many industries. See, if there is an industrial unit, if a conglomerate, a multinational corporation, India-based multinational corporation, if they have done something wrong, there is an income tax, there is an ED, they can take cognizance of all these things. I don't think that the income tax department or all these people are not taking cognizance. There was an income tax notice against Adani also very recently. So it's not that they are being let off the hook, but to link somebody who has made money out of the share market or who has made money out of industry, who has set up some new industries, is wrong. And Adani is not the only businessman. There are a number of businessmen, and there is actually, if you see, except probably in the last 20 years, there has not been even a single big ticket industrial investment in the country. The Reliance petrochemical complex in Maharashtra, in Gujarat, was probably the last big ticket investment that any industry has made in India. After that, our capital goods import has also gone down, and we have not had a single major industry in this country in the last 20 years or 25 years. So that factor has to be taken into account. People who say that Adani is making use of the government, I would say, let there be 100 industrial units which will be benefiting from the policies that this government is laying down. What is wrong?
No, so you are saying that Adani...
Yes, if you do something wrong, if there is an infringement of law, if there is some rules have been broken, then then there should be some cases against, and it should be investigated. I'm not saying nobody should be investigated.
What Hindenburg report has pointed out, you don't dismiss this. I mean, you accept that there's nothing wrong with that, or you say that it's a false report.
See, the jury is still out as far as those reports are concerned.
Right.
So I don't want to comment on those reports, because I mean, I can write a report against your channel tomorrow, and then I can tout all over the world that your channel is doing some misdeeds. So there has to be a credibility as far as these reports are also concerned. We come across so many reports, so I don't want to comment on these reports.
But Mr. Chari, the feeling is that the government is not at all concerned with what Hindenburg has pointed out. There are thousands of crores have been siphoned off, from the capital market, and government, it seems, is just not interested in getting things investigated. Look at the troll army. Look at the troll army. The kind of narrative which they project is that India is Adani and Adani is India. There are some foreign forces which are trying to puncture India's growth story. Now, is this what people want us? Is this what we should believe in?
No, I am not part of the troll army. And
no,
remember one thing.
Your question, sir. Yeah.
Remember one thing. If there are trolls, there are pro-BJP trolls. There are also anti-BJP trolls. So let us not get into that narrative as far as trolling is concerned. But there are agencies which have been set up by the Parliament of India, like SEBI. There are agencies like Income Tax. There are agencies like Companies Act. There is a Ministry for Companies Act. There are all these institutions are there in India which look into all the aspects. There is not a single move done by any industry. Forget Adani. Any industry for that matter. We
Mr. Chari,
cannot
the biggest fear
act.
is that these institutions are not working.
Let me complete this sentence. This sentence.
Okay.
Parliament or Government of India cannot act on the basis of a report which has been made outside this country and which has no jurisdiction in India. Period.
No, but Mr. Chari, SEBI should have investigated. Their investigation has long been pending. We do not know what SEBI is doing. SEBI.
No, I think I have answered. I think I have answered this question. I don't think we need to dwell upon this question for too much.
Okay, Mr. Chari. So Adani still remains a suspense. What is going to come out? That is one point which is also being raked up by the opposition. They will again rake it up in the second half of the budget session, which is going to start from 13th March onwards. So one has to wait and watch as to how this entire issue unfolds. There is also a Supreme Court panel which is doing on this issue. So we'll see what happens in the investigation. But this whole point of, you are saying that BJP doesn't seem to have a big challenge. What about the economic policies, price rise, inflation, joblessness, unemployment? Are these issues not staring at BJP in a big way? Or BJP is still very confident that through the Labharthi politics, it is sure to win the hearts of the people and the votes as well?
I think these issues will always be there for any political party for that matter. I remember in 2009, these issues existed. There was an economic meltdown all over the world. India was also affected. But India was not affected as much as other countries are affected. A similar situation is emerging even now. If you look at the region, all around India, there are failed economies. I don't want to name the countries, but there are economies which have flopped, which have gone belly up. But in spite of that, India has been able to maintain an economic lead and also emerge as the leader of the emerging economies in the region, and also catapult itself into the fourth place as far as economic growth is concerned. Even World Bank has suggested that India's economic growth is robust. As far as its GDP is concerned, we will be able to maintain a particular GDP. Unless, of course, something else majorly goes wrong, like another pandemic or whatever it is, God forbid, such a thing should not happen. Therefore, there are minor issues, no doubt about it. But when it comes to macroeconomic issues, macroeconomics seems to be well in control. And the finance minister has said it time and again that our finances and our economic policies are capable of handling certain problems that arise out of situations. Price rise is a situational issue, no doubt about it.
Right.
So that is also related to so many other factors which are which take place in a particular time frame. Like
Right.
when there is excess production of some commodity, the price goes down. When there is less production of a commodity, the price goes up. So these are all market mechanisms which also have effect on price rise and other issues. So I think a government has to control all these things. The government has to look into all these factors, no doubt about it.
But
And I'm
Mr.
sure the
Chari,
BJP is
yeah.
capable of looking into all these factors.
But Mr. Chari, there are a lot of unfulfilled promises of the Modi government as well, which the opposition is trying to rake up. Like they said that the farmers' income will be doubled in 2022. That has still not been done. We will provide crores and crores of jobs per year. There was a statistics given out. That has not got fulfilled. So how is the opposition wrong if it questions the government on these issues? And if they take these issues to the people, then, you know, the CBI is unleashed, the enforcement agencies are unleashed.
No. These two things are not connected at all. If somebody goes something wrong, if there is an evidence against some politician, whoever he or she is, there the government of the day has to take cognizance of it and act. As far as raising issues against the government is concerned, as far as price rise is concerned, as far as not fulfilling the promises are concerned, there is a time and a place to raise these issues. You need not raise these issues in Washington, D.C. or London. You can raise this issue in India. That is where the people are going to vote for you. I remember long back, there is a very, the interview seems to be getting a little more serious. Let me tell you, there was a Pakistani journalist who came and told Atal Bihari Vajpayee, कि सर आप पाकिस्तान में बहुत पॉपुलर हैं. But Atal ji said, हाँ लेकिन चुनाव तो मुझे भारत में लड़ना है. So Congress should remember, the Congress leader should remember that he has to fight elections. The Congress party has to win elections in Indian Parliament, not British Parliament.
No,
not the Congress, not the Congress
fine.
or the Senate in the US. So the opposition party, whatever the party concerned is, they are free to raise all these issues. And
Mr.
they
Chari,
are raising these
Mr. Chari,
issues.
tell me very honestly, whenever the opposition raises an issue, say, for example, the Adani issue, Rahul Gandhi made a speech in Parliament. I'm not singling out Congress. There were others also who were talking. What happened? Their speeches were expunged. Then where is the media getting the freedom to write whatever it wants to? Adani issue was all over, but the mainstream media in India completely blacked it out.
You think the media is not reporting enough on this? I mean, this kind of a comment on media, I don't think you are right. I think the media in India is very free. Not only that, the media probably is playing a much bigger and better role as an opposition to the government than even the political parties are doing. So political parties are raising certain issues for their convenience.
So your comment is meant for the social media or for the mainstream media? Because I don't find
I'm saying mainstream media. I'm saying mainstream media. Don't underestimate the capability and capacity of the mainstream media. If to tell you very frankly, some of these issues which could pose a challenge to BJP have been raised not by any political party but by the media. It is the media which has brought all these factors into the limelight. Therefore, I still feel that actually in this country, it is the media which is playing the role of an opposition more effectively, much more effectively than even the political parties.
But the kind of coverage which the media is doing is only the PR exercise of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. If he goes to inaugurate, then you will have hours and hours of live telecast followed by live discussions. Now, is that what the coverage of media means?
The credit goes to the PR agencies which are handling the Prime Minister's programs. Who is preventing the media from doing reporting other things? You think the media is not reporting other things? You open the newspaper today and see, is the newspaper only full of Prime Minister? No, it is not the case. The media is pointing out certain things. The limited point that I am trying to make, as far as your question is concerned, is that fortunately, it is the media which is playing the role of an opposition far better than even those parties which
It
are
might,
supposed to do this work.
yes, Mr. Chari, in your capacity, I think you would be right. But then there are cases against media personnel, and there's no dearth of it. Mohammad Zubair's example, then you have Siddiqui Kappan's example. Of course, there's a lot of background which has been, given to their cases. But then the fact of the matter is that there was a journalist who went to cover the Hathras gang rape, and then he was put behind the bars. There was a case of UAPA against him. So what would you really say to that?
I don't know the background of all these cases. I don't want to comment on cases which I have not studied in depth. Anyway, if there is something wrong happened against an individual by the state agency, these
Right.
things everybody is free to point out. Everybody is free to make use of these cases and nail the government on these issues. Therefore, this has been done and this is being done. So I don't think we can point out these things as errors only on the part of the government. दो हाथों से ताली बजती है, एक हाथ से ताली नहीं बजती है. So we should also see the other side of this background, other side of the case.
Okay, we'll move on from, we'll just move on a little with other issues as well. But as you've already said, that BJP is not facing any tough challenge. There is no economic failure as far as BJP's governance is concerned. Everything is very hunky-dory about BJP. What do you really feel about the opposition, the way they are conducting themselves, and as far as the regional leaders are concerned, be it Mamata Banerjee in West Bengal, be it Stalin in Tamil Nadu, be it BJD in Orissa, or KCR in Telangana? How about these forces? Can BJP really challenge these forces successfully?
No, it is attributed to Mahatma Gandhi that somebody asked him, what about Western culture? He said, that's a good idea. So I think that is what I would like to say about the opposition. It's a good idea. We should have some opposition in this country.
Right.
But let me tell you, it is not the job of the government or the BJP to create an opposition.
But whose job is it to give a level playing field to the opposition? We don't find a level playing field for the opposition.
The Constitution has given a level playing field to the opposition. And there is actually nothing called opposition. We are using a very wrong name. Right. So it's only a ruling party and certain parties which are not ruling parties. It doesn't mean that those parties which are not ruling have to oppose the government and its policies only for the sake of opposition. That is exactly what is happening now. But so I think there has to be some sort of a coordination between the ruling party and the other parties on certain issues. There are issues
But Mr. Chari, parties you have dismissed that these are not opposition parties, but some disparate forces with some issues they have come together, but they still hold more than 50% of the vote share.
Fine, that is arithmetic. Just because they are holding 50% or 60% of the vote share, it doesn't mean you put up one candidate against the BJP and all these 56, 70, 60, 56% people will come together and vote. It's not like that. Elections are not won and lost on the basis of mere arithmetic. Every constituency in the country is different. Every constituency, even in a state, is different. If you take only Maharashtra or say Mumbai or Delhi, 7 seats in Delhi, each and every parliament seat is different. So you have to plan accordingly. If some parties come together and start doing this kind of a planning, a strategic planning, wish them all the best. They are free to do it. Who is preventing them from doing it? But the biggest problem is we always talk about opposition getting together.
Nobody is stopping
during
it.
Election
but there is
issues.
a strange coincidence, Mr. Chari, to everything. The day Stalin announces some kind of a unity of the opposition, we have a fake video of the migrant laborers, from Bihar, being beaten up by Tamil Nadu people, the Tamil Nadu police. Those are the kind of things which are getting unleashed. Don't you see this as a pattern?
No, I don't think it will be very wrong to link all these things. We are talking about opposition getting together.
But isn't it a reality? Isn't it a reality? We saw those fake videos floating on the media. Everybody said that those were fake videos and some kind of a narrative was rolled out. against the Stalin government.
Nobody prevents any political party in this country from coming together or joining hands. It's not there. But if these political parties are not able to come together on certain issues, they have to rethink about it. You cannot expect the BJP or the Prime Minister to facilitate opposition to come together against him.
No, but don't you agree, sir, Mr. Chari, that look at what happened in Maharashtra. Most of the MLAs were intimidated with ED and CBI, and
No,
that's exactly
that
what
is
happened. The
no,
operation
don't.
because of that.
You cannot make a statement which you cannot substantiate. Don't go by do you have any personal information? Don't go on what has been reported. If you say this intimidation, I can say there has been greater intimidation from the Shiv Sena side, from Uddhav Thackeray side, on those MLAs who shifted to BJP and Shiv Sena. So don't make statements on the basis of what other people say. If you have if you have a point, if you can prove what you are saying, then I would be able to answer the question better.
But as a conscientious citizen, Mr. Chari, I really want to know that who is on the side of the truth? Is it BJP or is it the opposition parties who are raising the pro-people issues? Or is just mere governance enough?
The question is not who is on the side of truth. The question is, what is the truth? The BJP can claim that what they are saying is true. The opposition will claim what they are saying is the true. Ultimately, They have all to go to the people. Let the people decide. So if people decide that BJP is the winning party, then you cannot blame the BJP for it. That you have to do a search within. It's for the other parties which are blaming the Prime Minister, which are blaming the BJP. It is for them to decide. It is not that things have not happened. You remember BJP had 2 seats in parliament, just 2. Just two seats.
Of course, that credit goes
From
to BJP.
2, if they have come to 3,302, you mean to say they have been lying through the teeth all along from 1984 to 2024?
Mr. Chari, I'm after listening to your interview, I'm very, very tempted to ask you that question. That is BJP not committing any blunders? Is everything all right with Modi's governance? Is everything all right with the way BJP is governing over a range of issues? Is everything all right? One should not raise any questions about BJP and Modi.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying nobody should raise question against BJP or questions against the Prime Minister. I'm not talking about individual. Let us not talk about individuals. There is a position. There is a post called Prime Minister. So if the person who is occupying that post does or speaks something that brings disrepute to the post, you raise this issue, but don't make it personal. Don't make it personal. A. B. Another thing. If a political party is winning, for example, the Communist Party was winning election after election in West Bengal.
Right.
So did you say Communist Party is winning election after election in something wrong with the Communist Party? How can they win election? Did you say that? Now, when BJP wins 3 elections consecutively, everybody is asking the same question. How can BJP win? Is there anything in the constitution that your party cannot win more than 3 times?
No.
There is nothing in the constitution like this. There should be a soul searching by opposition. To tell you very frankly, Congress could have developed itself as a strong contender against the BJP. Very unfortunately, the Congress is in the vice grip of one family. Unless the Congress throws that family out of the party, it cannot improve. I am making this statement, strong statement. Many of the friends in the Congress party may not like this, but secretly, I'm sure every one of them will agree with this.
You don't see any kind of transformation in Rahul Gandhi, the way he has conducted himself during the Bharat Jodo Yatra and post that. And so you don't see any kind of transformation happening in him.
I don't think there is any possibility of anything happening like this.
Okay. And so you are you saying that the papufication campaign of BJP is also correct then?
No. I don't agree with the words that you are attributing. and I refuse to use such words. But I'm limiting myself to different factors.
Okay.
Every political party has to have a person who has a vision, and leadership cannot belong to a family.
Right.
There are political parties in this country, what we call quote unquote the regional parties or
Okay, Mr.
state
Chari,
parties,
sorry to interrupt you.
which are
We just
led
have
by a
about
family.
right. We
Remember,
just have
which are led by a family. Each and every political party that is ruling in the states are
right.
each and every one of them, except probably one, is led by a family.
Okay.
And this is what is happening to the Congress, and that is what I'm saying is wrong.
I need two quick answers from you. What is the biggest challenge for BJP for 2024?
I think the biggest challenge, I won't say it is the biggest challenge, but a very prominent challenge for the BJP will be to get good number of seats in those states where it is not the ruling party. For example, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, where a regional party or the party which is there in the state has been able to make a dent into the Congress and the BJP's vote bank. These states, there could be some issues.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Mr. Chari,
I don't see a very major challenge.
And do you see some kind of a third front or a federal front coming up, which can give a possibly a tough challenge to BJP? Do you see that happening? Very briefly. Yes, sir.
No, I don't think. Third front is a mirage that appears every time before the election and vanishes after the elections are over.
Okay. Okay. It was wonderful talking to you, Mr. Chari. Always a pleasure. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this interview, share this interview as widely as you can. Subscribe to our channel, The Federal, and send us your feedback. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chari. Thank you.
Subscribe to The Federal's YouTube page for more interesting updates.